Guys, it's your girl Elle, and welcome to Aging in Fashion. Guys, we gotta talk. It has come to my attention, and I can't go another moment without addressing this, is that most of my ladies don't love themselves. So, today's topic is loving the skin you're in. Now guys, I did a video a couple of weeks back, and it was called, what was it called? Loving yourself. Learn to love yourself. Self-love. And guys, I want you to take this thing more and more serious every day, every time, because I don't care what fashion you put on. I don't care how many fashion tips that I offer you. It's not going to show up unless you have the confidence and learn to really love yourself. Self-esteem shows up in so many areas of our lives, including our ability to love other people. If you're only loving yourself 50%, then you're going to be giving me 50%. You're going to be giving people around you, all the people in your life, only 50%. And guys, we don't want that raggedy love, right? If someone says they love you, you want 100%, you demand 100%. So that is the type of love that you want back. That is the type of love that you want to put out into the universe. I don't care who it is you're loving, whether it's your child, your granddaughter, your sister, your brother, your husband, whomever. So guys, again, today's topic is loving the skin you're in. Now guys, I know realistically, we know that there are certain changes that are going to come with time. There are certain changes that are inevitable, okay? Especially with our outward appearance. Most of us are really actually trying to hold on to our youth so badly that we never learn to appreciate the actual skin that we're in right now and in the present. And why is that? Well, a few reasons. Society has made us feel inferior as we age. Society has made us think that skin that does not have wrinkles is superior to skin that does have wrinkles, that black hair is superior to gray hair, that our slim physiques are superior to the curves that sometimes come as we age. So guys, just to put it more simply, society has convinced us that youth is superior to aging and maturing. Another thing is that society, or we've been programmed to think that bad health automatically comes with aging. So guys, with all of this, how can we learn to appreciate the skin we're in? And then there's the nutritionists. The nutritionists say that we're fighting a losing battle with all of the contaminants that we consume, the air that we breathe, the genetically modified food, and even the creams that we're putting on our faces, the creams we're putting on our bodies, the food supplements that we're using to supplement nutrition. All of these things are causing us to just be fighting a losing battle in this toxic environment that we live in. Everything's been genetically modified, and yeah, while that is affecting us, I truly believe that is affecting our well-being in today's world. We do have to, look back and realize that illnesses, and mental illness and physical illness, existed long before our planet was just made so toxic. All right, so guys, let me repeat. There are things in our lives that are inevitable. There are things that are going to happen. Our Creator built us this way. So how can we look at it as inferior? Are we trying to say that our Creator made a mistake? And guys, since my channel is mostly about fashion, let me add that fashion choices are yours. Fashion choices are yours, no matter how old you age, and that looking good and feeling good has no expiration date. I have to reiterate that. There are things that you may want to alter, but again, fashion, looking good and feeling good have no expiration date. But to answer this question, is there anything that we can do, or how can we learn to love the skin we're in? Well guys, what I say is we have to embrace this as a new journey. This is another journey in our lives. So here, we're going to have an appreciation for our longevity, and we're also going to have to put in effort. We're going to have to put in a conscious effort to learn to appreciate the changes that come with aging. I say, when it comes down to illnesses, let's not mistake bad health with aging. Bad health and aging are not the same. Bad health a lot of times bad health comes from what we did in our youth. Not all the time, but there are a lot of times bad health is just a result of the things that we have done in our youth, and they're just now showing up because, I mean, of course, over time, things get worse. I equate it to the car, the use of a car. We drive a car for so many years, things are going to go wrong. The tires are going to need to be swapped out, changed, or whatever. So it's just wear and tear. It's not necessarily age, because if you had lived a softer life, your tires may last a little bit longer, or maybe your engine may not need to be restarted or whatever, regenerated. But yeah, you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm trying to say. This is a very serious topic, but we are going to have a little fun with that, right? So guys, I'm going to give you like at least 3 things that I feel like, can help with this situation. So in learning to appreciate the changes, we have to reset our minds, right? There are some advantages to aging. Like retirement, and just not having all the years, just putting all the years of hard work and punching that clock. Girls, when I tell you, I used to want to throw that clock up against the wall like so many times. I can't tell you how many times I wanted to just break that alarm clock. I couldn't wait for retirement age. I tried to hang in there a little bit longer. I mean, it just was getting to the point where, oh my God, the day that I don't have to do this, I just can't wait for that day, right? I don't know about you. I don't know about you guys, but that's how it kind of had gotten for me. Hey guys, another subject. I remember I couldn't wait for that monthly cycle to end. Ladies, I'm telling you, right? The menstrual cessation of menstruation, menstruation, right? Oh my God, cramps, bloating, irritability, right? Throwing up, vomiting, just irritable. I gained a whole reputation as a black woman with an attitude, right? I can't make this up. I'm telling y'all. Behind PMS, I gained a whole reputation, and it felt like it comes every 21 days. Every 21 days you're doing it. So it's like if you add that up, and mine would last, I don't know. Anyway, I know people kind of whatever when, there's a subject like that, but I'm telling you guys, that was something to look forward to in my life. I don't know about you. And guys, as much as I love my children, this is a time in my life where I can really I actually have time for myself to think about myself, like who I am, what I want, right? Some of the things that I never even had the opportunity. You're not being, you're just doing, right? When you're raising your children. And now guys, right? This may sound a little selfish, but I can buy a white couch if I want to. There were things I always had to restrict myself. Can't get this because I know the kids going to mess it up. The kids are going to break it. They've broken a few things. And while you don't want to act like you love your stuff more than you love your children, you just have to suck it up and keep going. But hey, they are living their own lives now. It is time for you. If you can afford to travel. Just learn to really actually love on yourself. Concentrate on you, who you are. Quit looking at life as like, this is the end of life. I'm no longer attractive. Who's not going to like me? And one of the tips, if I leave you with nothing, I'm kind of letting you know, ladies, when it comes down to the curviness, curvy women are in style. So don't be trying to lose all your curves. Women out here with this GLP, and if you need help losing a few pounds or whatnot, go for it. I can't, it's not for me, but I'm just, I do understand that we want to look a certain way, but some things are inevitable. God created us to do and be a certain way. And so now's the time we can slow down. We don't have to work as hard. We're in retirement age. The children are gone. Love yourself. Learn to love the skin you're in, ladies. Seek and ye shall find. You have to look for the positive in a thing in order to be able to see it. So guys, number 2, self-love. I know I've been talking about self-love, but when I speak self-love, if you truly learn what self-love is, you will learn to appreciate yourself so much to the point that you don't want to, or you want to avoid contaminating your body as much as you possibly can. You're more careful about the things that you put into your body. You're careful to also put the self-love by speaking over yourself, speaking to yourself, loving on yourself, touching yourself is seriously a way to get in touch with your body. I mean, you don't know what your body feels like. Sometimes you just need to get naked. You need to get naked. You're in the house. I mean, some of us, I don't know, every person who's retired or every person that is my age may not be in this position, but yeah, being in a position that I am in, I'm able to walk my house naked if I so desire. I wasn't raised in a naked house, but if I want to walk around naked, I can be a little bit naked. But yeah, when you really learn self-love, nobody has to tell you. Nobody has to force you to do exercise. Exercise and movement are two of the things that have been proven to regenerate the body, the mind, and the spirit. And so, but we dread it. But if we learn to love ourselves when we're actually in the process of making choices about what we're going to do to our bodies, what we're going to put into our bodies, we make better choices when we really love who we are. When we love the skin we're in and we love ourselves inside and out, we make better decisions. I was about to grab a bag of popcorn the other day because I was being lazy, did not want to, prepare food. And I even had food that was in a refrigerator, but I had to think to myself, these are empty calories. My body needs nutrition. My food is our medicine. Food is what helps us fight off illnesses physically and mentally off. Illnesses, our immune systems need a certain amount or certain kinds of nutrition in order to be able to fight off diseases. And our mental also needs to, we also need that same or some nutrition to help us be able to deal with stress, day-to-day stress. And then number 3 thing is our mental health, right? When we start dealing with our mental health, what we have to realize, we are mature individuals right now, whether you're a man or a woman, we are mature individuals. And so we have to realize that having a negative mindset is not going to serve us. It's not going to benefit in any sort of way. When it comes down to everyday stresses of life, none of us are going to be able to escape it. We're going to encounter some negative events in our lives. Right? Again, we have to speak over ourselves. Sometimes we have to prepare. You can never prepare yourself for, any particular incident, but you can prepare yourself for the reaction that you're going to have. I remember there was a young lady that turned 40 years old a long time ago when I was a hairstylist. And this lady came into my house. She was turning 40 and she actually fell on the floor crying. And I thought she was kidding at first, but then I, quickly learned that she was being serious. She was screaming, "Oh my God, I'm old, nobody's gonna want me, blah, blah, blah." And at the time, I was in say my mid-30s, right? And I just, at that point, looked at her reaction to aging and I thought, I'm not gonna be like that. When I turn 40, I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna regret aging because I want to continue to live, and I don't want to feel like I regret life, right? Again, we cannot be prepared for, say there's an accident or something like that. That is an individual incident. But we can speak over ourselves, and we have to, we really have to actually have and consciously have these conversations with ourselves that something bad can happen to me. I mean, your ego should not be to the point. Sometimes I really kind of want to, and I say this, with a little intrepidation, because I don't really want to step on anybody's toes, but sometimes I feel like that people's egos are so to the point that they don't feel like bad things are supposed to happen to them, right? Like, how could this happen to me? But bad things happen to good people. Bad things happen to all people. So when I say speak over yourself and try to prepare yourself that when negative things happen in life, there is a way out. We don't have to pitch a tent. My pastor used to say, don't pitch a tent in misery, which means I'm setting my house up. I'm building a house of misery. I am allowing this bad thing to happen to rule me for long periods of time. And I hear so many people talk about, I'm healing, I'm in my healing process. Our Bible says, and you don't have to be a Christian to adapt positive thinking in life, but the Bible says by the stripes of Jesus, I'm healed, right? Not healing. So yeah, that's just, something that has been on my mind. I just hear so many people, I'm in my peace, I'm staying away from everybody, I'm healing, and you're 10 years by yourself or locked, you've had yourself locked away for 10 years and you're still healing. Okay, let's be healed. The saying, I also made a quick little video about it's okay to be okay. therapists and psychologists, and I believe in them. I believe that they are very helpful, and some people need therapists, right? I probably could use a little therapy myself, but at any rate, yeah, not making fun, or I don't ever mean to make light of anybody's mental situation. However, we keep hearing the saying that it's okay not to be okay, but certain information given to certain people, sometimes it enables people. It's like when it comes down to charity, sometimes charity is a good thing, but charity sometimes can enable people to continue to feel like they need it, right? So, and we all know that when it comes down to the medical profession, we all know that it is a source of it's a money-making market right out there for that as well. But yeah, all I'm saying is that everybody's going to have bad situations in life, and there's no way that we can prevent that. But we have to know that we are in control of ourselves, because we control ourselves on a daily basis. When it comes down to how we conduct ourselves, I mean, even if you go off to college and you have to coexist with classmates and whatnot, there is a certain amount of control that has to be exercised. And so there is that ability inside of you to be able to control your thoughts and how you're going to process life and make plans, because I had this conversation with myself, and I just kind of one day thought about, well, what is the worst that could happen? I thought about a few people that, oh my God, I would almost want to die if something happened to these people. But I had to kind of tell myself that if something happened, I cannot quit. I can't give up on me. I can't cease to exist, right? And they would not want that for me, I would think. And so basically, it's a constant battle. It's a constant battle when it comes down to we all will probably have like what I consider to be a knee jerk, or that's what I've heard psychologists and experts use the term knee jerk. So there are innate emotions, or our bodies are set up kind of like a computer. So our bodies are going to react to situations. So no, if you slap me, I'm probably, my neck is going to move, my face, I'm going to feel the pain, and my mouth is probably going to say ouch, right? If nothing else, I'm going to frown. There's going to be some reaction. There's going to be some emotion on the inside of me. I'm not even trying to tell you that you don't need to show emotion. What I'm trying to say is don't pitch a tent. Do not build your life around misery, because the results of that is that you don't allow yourself to be happiness. The potential for anything to be able to put a smile on your face, you miss it if you allow yourself to go into depression, if you allow yourself to go into, and some people say, like these things are uncontrollable. If you believe that it is controllable, you may stand a better chance. I am not a licensed psychologist, and I cannot tell you that it is impossible, but I can say to you that I have had traumatic experiences, and God, who knows, I might be a little bit more messed up than I actually think that I am, but I think, that I'm okay in spite of my life. I mean, if I could sit here and cry you a river, I could cry you a river, because I didn't have the best start in life. I didn't grow up in Leave It to Beaver home life. That's not what I had. I've actually gone through things in my marriages. I have 3 sons, and so yeah, there have been some tragedies. But again, I really have actually, I can't make this up, right? I can't make this up. I actually had that conversation with myself, and so I mean, I pray, and if you're a believer, then, you have to stand on business when it comes about, when there's some things you're going to have to stand on business. You're going to have to believe in something. You got to grab onto something, because the world is very mean. The world is going to keep turning. There was this, wait a minute, guys, I have a couple of notes, but yeah, there was a show called As the World Turns, and as the world turns, Inga Rose wrote this song. Wait a minute here. Sorry about this. But Inga Rose wrote this song called Celebrate Me, and everybody's jumped on that. But in there, she has this one little verse that really, kind of resonates with me. She says, ain't nobody clapping for me, so I'm clapping for myself. Sometimes you got to clap for yourself. Because again, guys, if you pitch a tent No matter how long you decide that you're going to cry over a situation, you can never undo it. Once a thing has happened, it's always going to be there. It's always, every time you think about it, if you think about it 10 years from now, it can't make you feel good because it was something of tragedy. So that's where PTSD comes from, is people not letting go of how it initially felt when something traumatic happened to them. That much I do know. So guys, there is a scripture in the Bible, and it says, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And guys, what I say to you is that you don't have to be a Christian to adapt certain principles to live by. The power of positive thinking works in all religions, in all lives, and in not just in religious lives. It works for all lives. So don't let life pass you wishing for a different you. I had to say to myself, at one point in my life, I heard a psychologist say, stop wishing for, you have to learn to appreciate the children that you have instead of spending your whole life and missing their lives wishing that you had other children. Your children are just your children. You are just you. Learn to appreciate you and who you are, because life is passing you by. So learn to adapt those principles, those positive principles that will cause you to love the skin you're in. And that is all I have for you guys today. I appreciate your time. Peace, love, and happiness. Love the skin you're in.